All right, guys, where am I? So I am in North Carolina, and I'm at a place called River Ridge Farms. So what is River Ridge Farms? Well, if you take a look behind me, you may remember this barn. This barn right here was in a pretty famous movie, and if you're watching my channel, you kind of know which one it is, Days of Thunder. So this is the barn where Robert Duvall was building race cars. This was his shop in that movie. And back when this movie was made, this farm sat around, was surrounded by fields, and it pretty much was in the middle of nowhere, except that was what, 30 years ago. And so now this is right across from the Costco, Zaxby's Chicken, whole strip mall here, auto parts store, all kinds of stuff. And all the fields that used to be here are all developed into strip malls and everything else. But the barn is still here. And it's just a fun little thing that's left over from the movies. And back then, a lot of these guys, like Richard Childress Racing and all, a lot of them had probably gotten their starts in small barns or in car dealerships. But now we're going to go and take a look at a couple shops and compare the two to what started in barns building race cars. Even in the 1980s, there was no big shops. Wood Brothers had the same garage that they always had. At the time, Dale Earnhardt, I believe, was still working out of his shop over near Lake where they used to live. And so I just wanted to kind of show you, it's cool that this thing is still here. But if you look around now, by looking around, you can just tell, you know, progress. Is it progress? I guess it is. If you own one of these stores, if you bought a house down here, it's probably progress. But it would be nice to have life sometimes back the way it was. But I hope that the guy that owned the barn and owned this farm profited from the movie. That would be good. Anyway, so that's where I want to go here. Now we're going to go and see, let's go to Kyle Busch's and see where Kyle Busch's race shop is now. Let's see the difference. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. We all have this idea of NASCAR being in these real small towns with barns and everything. And the funny thing is, Mooresville, where a lot of the shops are, Earnhardt, Busch, Roush, this is their town right here. This is the town. And it is a small town. It is a really nice town, but it is small. And there is a lot of barns, and there are a lot of hills. But this is the town. This is Mooresville right here. It's exactly what you think of when you think of how did NASCAR get started. Now, you know, now you have, the buildings are old, but the businesses themselves are not. But like, look at over there. Look at that. That is just cool. So you're not disappointed. Of course, the buildings themselves are modern for these racing teams, and the buildings themselves are large, and they're in an industrial park nearby. But the reality is, this is what this whole town looks like. This is where they live. It's a small town. So it is pretty neat. So this is Kyle Busch's place. This is Kyle Busch Motorsports, and it's about 5 minutes away from Dale Jr.'s place. So we came over here. Again, these guys are all over at Nashville today, racing in Nashville, and also getting ready for Pocono this weekend. So that's where everybody is, but we're gonna go in and check it out, and come on in. Check these cars out. So we're in Kyle Busch Racing in his world headquarters here. And he's got all his cars out front. His trophies. You can see all the Toyotas out there, the whole shop. They're all, look at all that stuff. Well, this is the 2015 car right here. It's Champions Series. All his trophies. And then you have all these cars here. So you have all different cars that he has, and his truck. This was his chassis from here. Here's the interstate car right here. The Dollar General truck right here. That's his first late model car. So this is some of his early racing stuff here. Trophy case. From 2010, 2009, 2008, 2006, all the way up to present day. Like him or dislike him, I can tell you this much: the man wins a lot of trophies. The man wins a lot of trophies. He's got his racing suits up top. So yeah, I mean, he does win a lot. So he's actually got a nice little museum. You can see the shop out there. You see his cars here. So yeah, if you get up here, it's only about 5 minutes from Dale Earnhardt's place. So you can see both of them at the same time, and actually a lot of them are all around here at the same time. So if you like this kind of thing, please subscribe. Remember to subscribe, hit the little bell, like me, share, brush your teeth, all the normal stuff. Thanks. So this is Kyle Petty's garage. You can see the Camping World trucks and everything here. And then this is his car here. One of his cars. You can see a ton of them. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's only about 5 minutes from Dale Earnhardt's. So if you like rowdy, then this is a place for you. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty neat thing. Anyway, remember to subscribe, click the little bell, like, share, brush your teeth, do all the fun stuff. Anyway, off to our next adventure. But this is a really cool place. If you are up here, you can see them. They're both really close to each other. So we're here at JRM Motorsports, which is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s racing headquarters. So I went in, I got to take a tour of the shop. They don't let you take too many pictures. I got also a tour of the studio.
This is the Dirty Mo Radio Studio. This is where Dale records his podcasts every Tuesday. In 2019, we basically turned the back half of our retail store into a legit podcast studio. So this is a kind of a hybrid between Joe Rogan and Dan Patrick's studio. Dale was on both those podcasts. He really enjoyed the way Joe Rogan had his setup with the table and the face-to-face interaction with the guests, and then all the memorabilia, the kind of the man cave feel, if you will, that Dan Patrick had in his studio. So everything in this room is straight out of Dale's personal collection as far as memorabilia. A few notable things. We got the right side off the 2001 NBC's here as well.
When do they do it?
TV show. What's up?
When do they normally do it? Does he like have it?
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays?
Yep. And so I guess out, but mostly just the meat of the conversation with the guests is what is featured on the TV show. So
pretty cool.
So yeah, Dale will do his podcast, and then we have another podcast called Door Bumper Clear with spotters in the sport. TJ, who spotted for Dale for most of his career, now spots for Joey Logano. Going on in the industry. Their podcast is more geared toward NASCAR today, and Dale's podcast is more geared toward the history of NASCAR for the most part. We'll have different guests. Dale has a guest every week. Door Bumper Clear has a guest every now and then, but most of the time it's just them talking about the actual race that went on that weekend. So that is the Dirty Mo Radio studio. You guys have any questions?
All right, just letting you know that since I just got this at JR Motorsports, the world headquarters, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. signed it. So here is the signed Dale Earnhardt Jr. helmet from Junior Motorsports. Just so you know, so it's a real thing. Unfortunately, you can't do a lot of, well, you can't really do any videoing other than what I did in there in the studio and on the Nova. But that was a pretty cool tour. It took about half an hour. Got to see a lot of the Infinity cars. You got to actually all the Infinity cars, everything that was here, how they build them, how they put them together, how they're painted, how they're constructed. So it was really, really cool. It's worth coming to see. It was awesome. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the bell, tell your friends, brush your teeth, all the normal things. Thanks. April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.